Oh, God. Honestly, this is some of the craziest cheating drama in Warhammer 40k I've ever seen. 10th edition is fully upon us, and for some armies, such as Eldar, they are proving to be very, very strong. Having an ability such as Strands of Fate to roll dice and then not even bother rolling dice later, just picking them up and putting them in replacement instead of a dice roll. And honestly, sometimes it can feel like they're just cheating. Well, this weekend, there was one particular Eldar player that was cheating with one particular dice, and how they tried to get out of it was it was a flush. That's what we'll say. This was a list used by a particular player. It is clearly a very, very good list. 2 Night Spinners, 2 D Cannons, and 2 Wraith Knights with D Cannons as well. This list is obviously very, very horrific, okay? The one thing you can't use fake dice is on the first turn roll-off, you know? However, this player in particular kept getting a first turn roll, and someone in particular is a bit skeptical about how they kept getting a first turn roll. So skeptical that they claimed they may have had a weighted dice. The round 4 opponent was deemed skeptical and called out the player. And once the player was called out, the TO was brought to the situation, and the TO said, okay, if this dice isn't weighted, let's test it in a salt bath. Why don't we test it in a salt bath, you know? Let's get some salt, put it in some water, put the dice in, and then if you flip the dice in salt water, it allows it to float. And if it's not weighted, it'll go random number, kind of like rolling. But if it's weighted, it'll always land on the same one. And the 4th round opponent, who was very pissed off because they were like, you know what, this is a weighted dice, went to the shop to buy the salt. They went over to go and buy some salt to make a little salt cup to test the dice. Okay? And whilst all this was happening, the cheater was like, oh, guys, I'll just drop. If you're gonna call me out, I'm just gonna drop if you're gonna call me out. Like, obviously, you know, why would you call me out? I am not cheating. Anyway, the dice were tested after player who called out person went and got the salt, made the salt bath, made the TO test the dice. The dice were proven to be weighted, okay? And it was proven to be these dice. So these are edge-loaded dice with lead. So these are dice that are weighted with lead to land on a particular number. Now, you can buy any loaded dice, but one thing that cheaters do, they buy one that always rolls a 6, and they buy one that always rolls 1 and a 2. And they can be like, oh, it's not weighted, look. Oh, it rolled a 1. How can that possibly be weighted? But obviously rolling 2 separate dice. Once the player had been called out, they were DQ'd. Obviously, that makes sense. But one thing that happened is the player in question, the cheater, went to the bathroom and then left. 30 or 40 minutes later, I've been informed that another player went to the bathroom to do bathroom things and found what I can only describe as the funniest shit I've ever seen. Literally, the funniest shit I've ever seen. These are the weighted dice in the bog. The dice are in the bog. How would they flush away when they are filled with lead? They're weighted dice! Lads, they're weighted dice. Why would you flush them away? They're not going to go anywhere. You're supposed to fill it with water and drop it from a great height while it's flushing. That's what I was taught when I was younger. But here we are. The blessed number 7, the 1, and the 6. And now you might have seen this picture with the flecks of poo on the toilet, which I thought was great. But what's even funnier is someone sent me a video of the same toilet. Lads, that's a video. There's a video! And it's still on 7! It's still on 7! It won't go away! You can't disprove a video. No, exactly. Look. Look, I need to prove it here. Look at this. Look, watch the toilet. To prove it's the same one, okay? Look at the poo. Look, I can't zoom in on the video. Look at the poo. One big flick, one tiny little flick. On the picture, one big flick, one tiny little flick. It's the same toilet. It's all the same. Someone else has tried to film the toilet, film the dice getting flushed down the bog, and they can't because they're full of lead. We've analysed the shit and we have confirmed that the video does match the picture and you can't fake a video. Let's just watch it one more time. One more. This video is fucking brilliant. Anyway, I would have took a steaming pile of shit on them because supposedly they took them out of the bog and then started rolling them after the player had left. But there you go. That is how the guy got caught, and then everyone just went, yeah, he's fucking in the bog. They're all in the bog. What an iconic image. Look at it. This is the best shit content. We call it the Daily Slop for a reason. It's the Daily Slop right onto the 7. Guys, if you can't fake dice the first turn roll, just use weighted dice. And if you get caught, just chuck them in the bog and leave. I normally roll shit, but this takes the piss. Why did they try flushing their weighted dice after they got caught? They could have just left. They could have just gone, you know what, I'll use these at another event. Not that I recommend it. My man thought he was getting strip searched on the way out. Literally, the TO said, I'm not going to take your belongings, just leave. And then he tried to flush them down the bog. And that's what I don't get. Why would you try and flush them down the bog if you've already been caught and they've tested them and said, yes, these are weighted dice, please get out of my event? Why would you then go on to trying to flush them down the toilet? If it was like, oh, they're going to test the dice, I need to get rid of them fast. Then flush them down the bog, then find them, then salt bath. But actually, the order of events was test them, DQ the player, then he flushed them down the bog. Please put all toilet-based puns and memes in the comments on this YouTube video. Best comment, win some Hellstorm dice that aren't weighted. I'll buy them. Let's go, Tom. Best dice shit toilet-related meme or comment will win a set of Hellstorm dice. Not a pair. They won't be weighted. You get 20. I think competitive 40k has peaked. I want this marked in history. I don't think I can ever top this of a cheater. I think this is it. Using the most broken list known to man, flushing them down the bog after getting caught. I don't know how else we could... Where else do we go? Where else do we go from here? This is it. We've peaked 10th, right? Games Workshop, time to release 11th edition, okay? Because 10th has peaked. That is how someone's Warhammer 40k career literally went down the toilet. And I don't know what else you want me to say.